What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Boslake. You can find me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28, and that's the one, the only. It is Scott Savage. You can find him on Twitter at Savage. Scott, happy Monday, buddy. Tuesday? Dude, it's Tuesday. It was a long weekend. How was your long weekend?
It is the most two the day could possibly get. I have to bring attention to this. I'm sure everybody's seen this already, but it is Tuesday of the second month of the year. It is the 22nd, and we're in 2022. That is a palindrome, and it's another thing where you flip it upside down that still works.
Dude, that's cool.
This is the most amount of twos we're going to get in the date for another 200 years.
Wow.
And even then, I doubt it's a Tuesday.
That's well, there's a start to the show, Scott, if I've ever seen one. That's where everybody can be joining us live over on twitch.tv/theofficialITG, as well as YouTube at Inside the Game Official. If you can't join us live, hit us up later. Podcast services around the world, TV streaming networks around the globe, and of course, InsideTheGame.ca. Dude, what's up, ITG Parker? Good morning. And our good friend BB is joining us as well, live right now. Dude, what'd you do over the weekend? I played some things, I finished some things, I got some things to say.
Yeah, I got into something that's brand new to me. I'd avoided Cyberpunk this entire time. And although I think that was the right decision, I'm coming back around now. I think I'm having a good time. I think. We're going to reserve judgment until next week, perhaps.
That's fair. That's fair. I was cleaning up my backlog and I finished off Assassin's Creed Odyssey over the weekend. 66 hours to get to an ending. I was like, huh, really? Like, man, I was not too impressed. Dude, I didn't even know I was done the game until it popped and said, you can now start New Game Plus. I was like, really? Like, credits didn't roll, nothing, dude. It was weird. It was so weird. It was just one of those things. I was like,
I wonder if there's a secret ending or maybe a New Game Plus ending.
There's a bunch of different endings. I know Nate, ITG Parker's got a different ending. Him and I are going to discuss our endings because I want to know what he had versus what I did, because I went on a rampage at the end of that game, man. I just bore down everybody, but we'll see how that goes. But then from there, dude, I automatically downloaded Metal Gear Solid 5 and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I started Metal Gear Solid 5 and I went right back into Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and Valhalla's got me. I'm like, wow, I didn't expect to get hooked coming off 66 hours worth of Assassin's Creed Odyssey to get pulled back into the next one, right? So yeah, it's been on my list of, okay, I gotta clean up all the Assassin's Creed games.
It's curious that Metal Gear Solid didn't pull you in until, next month.
Yeah, well, it did. Yeah, dude, it's got this feel, right? It's its own game, and it's got one of the most convoluted intros I've ever played.
Yeah, it was. That's funny. You mentioned that to me, and I had already purged that out of my head. I didn't even remember.
Dude, it's the weirdest. Oh man, if you haven't played Metal Gear Solid 5 or you haven't checked out the intro to that, you should check it out. But what you can check out is what's going on today's show, Scott. PlayStation revealed the next iteration of the PlayStation VR 2, and it has us excited. Street Fighter 6 was teased, and yet still no release date. Atlus reveals their game after the countdown, and Ubisoft would be up for selling the company. well. Imagine that. If you get offered $68 billion, Scott, wouldn't you be down to sell too? Yeah.
Yeah, throw another couple zeros on there and you got yourself a deal.
Yeah. Well, let's get a first look at the PlayStation VR 2 headset, Scott. This, dude, was cool. This dropped over on an actual press release I had this morning. It's also on the PlayStation blog today. This comes from Hideki Dashishino. We're going to go with that. Today, I am especially pleased to reveal the stunning new design of our next generation VR headset, PlayStation VR 2, together with an updated and final design image, Scott. Image of our PlayStation VR 2 Sense controller. Are you right there? Kind of goes, isn't this thing done? Like, I kind of feel like it would be done by now, right? But when it says design image, I guess maybe that's what they're showcasing. It's just the image because there is no trailer, right?
Well, it doesn't say just concept or conceptual image or drawing, so it's quite ambiguous.
Yeah, absolutely. It kind of leaves it open-ended, right? But You'll notice the PSVR 2 headset has a similar shape as the PSVR 2 Sense controller. I'm excited for the Sense controller, I'm gonna be honest. Taking on a matching orb look. The circular orb shape represents the 360-degree view that players feel when they enter the virtual reality world, so this shape captures it nicely. The design of the PSVR 2 headset was also inspired by the look of the PS5 family of products. When our design team created a PS5 console, they also had the next generation VR headset in mind, so you'll notice some similarities in the look and feel. The PlayStation 5 console has flat edges and is meant to be displayed on a flat surface, while there was more emphasis on adding roundness to the design of the PSVR 2 headset, since it is meant to have constant human contact, similar to the rounded edges of the DualSense controller and the Pulse 3D headset.
Yeah, that controller does look very clean. That
Doesn't it?
perfect ring that's pretty nice.
For sure. Our goal is to create a headset that will not only become an attractive part of your living room decor, but will also keep you immersed in your game world to the point where you almost forget you were using a headset or controller. That's why we paid very close attention to the ergonomics of the headset and conducted extensive testing to ensure a comfortable feel for a variety of head sizes. Scott, dude, this thing does look a lot more slick and sleek than the last iteration of PlayStation VR, their first launch, right? Where I go back to Shuhei Yoshida talking about how this is PlayStation 1 versus PlayStation 2, right? It's got that big leap moving forward. So they've redesigned how this thing feels, looks, the ergonomics of it, sensors, one cord, Scott, not cord free.
Yeah.
Right? But we're down to one cord. And one cord I can handle, dude.
And no camera, as far as I understand.
Oh,
It's
thank
not
goodness.
part of the setup. Because
No.
I've only seen the PlayStation VR 2 times. One was in your house, actually. That was a very nice setup. That was the best I'd seen so far. And then once when Nate brought it over to my place, and
Sure.
I watched him put that thing together, and I went, what is this?
It was a nightmare, right? You almost think you're connected to a PC because it had this box, and then this had to go over here, and then this had to connect to your PlayStation, and then that had to connect to your heads. Oh my man, oh man!
Yeah, we're placing coffee tables around to hold it in the right angle area.
Well, and then you
almost had to bump it up on a phone book just to make it the right angle.
Right, and then you got to pivot the camera. It's got to tilt, and then when you set up your game, you got to fit inside this box with your headset. Oh man, it was an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, that was rough.
So I'm glad that they've redesigned this thing. It's been a lot more sleek and compact looking, and it's obviously, dude, they've really stepped it up too, right? When PSVR 2 launches, it'll take a giant leap forward in the way we play games in virtual reality. There are plenty of exciting new features to look forward to in the PSVR 2 system, including stunning visual fidelity in 4K HDR and state-of-the-art graphical rendering, enhanced tracking such as inside-out camera tracking, new PlayStation VR 2 Sense technology features such as headset feedback, Scott, and a new intuitive PSVR 2 Sense controller that creates an incredibly deep feeling of immersion. I'm very excited. No date yet. Dev kits are out in the wild, out to creators, so we will hang tight and wait. Scott, do you think we see it this year, or is it more of a 2023 thing right now?
Well, because they're giving away the look of it, I feel like it is inside of 22, but there's still a lot of 2022 left, so it could be quite at the end of the year or in November kind of release time. That would be a popular window.
That is always a popular window. We know how jam-packed that is. I don't know if they want to compete in that window, right? Because then you're competing with the next Call of Duty. God of War is rumored to be around then too, maybe September. So there's a huge lineup. It's incredible how we've already seen an influx of games right now just in the month of February, but people are already getting ready for that holiday season. Do you want to launch in that holiday season? Because dude, that's a wicked Christmas gift. There's a holiday gift opportunity right there for somebody.
I'm wondering, do we know of any titles that are coming specifically to VR2? The Forbidden West. Yeah, the Horizon one. Yeah. I suppose it's not called Forbidden West, but the Horizon package is the only thing that I think I remember right now.
As of right now, yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. Nothing else has really been revealed for it, and that's kind of one of the other things, right? They announced Moss 2 is coming, but Moss 2 is coming to the original PlayStation VR, not even the second one. Oh. So I was like, that's coming out this year, right? That kind of tells me that Maybe PSVR 2 isn't coming out till 2023.
Possibly, yeah, because they're going to want a software kind of catalog to put together to sell the thing. Otherwise,
Absolutely.
well, how many people are really going to buy it?
If they can have a star-studded lineup and then have it backwards compatible with the original PSVR titles, dude, that would be a huge get, right? And we've been getting over the past year and a half, maybe even 2 years at this point, we've been getting the PlayStation Plus games, including with PSVR. So you're starting to build that lineup. So if you don't have PlayStation VR, you still have the opportunity to download the game, keep the game, at least have it in your library. So that way, if you do decide to jump into PSVR 2, you already have that at the get-go. They go, okay, well, let me try out this game. Yeah, it's old, but dude, you play Astro Rescue. Oh man, I'm going blank. Rescue something. Man, it was really good. Astrobots.
How about we play
Rescue Worlds or something? Now I gotta look it up.
Bow for Blood. Bow to Blood.
Let's not play that. That's
that with the head rumble.
Astrobot World or Astro World.
How strong would that mess you up?
Oh man, it's yeah, no, absolutely not. They have a lot of games already there. Blood and Truth, honestly, really kind of brings me back to that one. Blood and Truth was an incredible game. It was so well done. Biggest problem is we go from a Move controller into the Dual Sense controller for the PlayStation VR 2, which is a completely different control scheme, right? But I think they can still adapt the old Move motion controllers into this one to hopefully carry some of those games forward. We'll see.
Well, those old Move controllers are only getting rare, as far as I understand. I don't think they're still making them.
No, mine still worked, surprisingly. I downloaded Hitman 3 for my PSVR. Dude, you use a controller and you're actually like moving your actual control. It's so weird. You hold R2, but then you kind of like jab at the screen, so he punches and stuff. It's so strange. It's so strange.
That's a little,
yeah.
Well, I hope that you put a little rug down so you can tell when you're in the center of the room, because I've seen you punch a hole in your wall once before.
Yeah,
I'm never gonna forget that.
Oh, dude, my Oculus Rift can rest in peace. Thank God for the Quest 2.
Yeah.
That
was the part that wasn't funny, but
yeah. BB wants to know, what do you think the launch lineup will be? That's a fantastic question.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing's really been announced besides that Horizon little snippet, right? When they talked about PSVR 2, they didn't really dive into any games at all. We're kind of waiting to see what does the lineup look like. We know Horizon's coming. If they can have that as a launch title, I think that is a great piece to get started to go, hey, this is where we're leading the technology of our PlayStation VR headset into the future of PlayStation. And this is why you want to get this. You already got so many people right now invested into Horizon Forbidden West, right? Because that's brand new. People are so wanting a piece of this game, dude. We've raved about it. We streamed it last week. We gave a game away. Everybody's talking in such positive feedback on the game. It only builds more hype. So when you announce that, hey, we're also going to get this Horizon game for VR, dude, I can't wait to have the tall neck go right over across.
Oh, dude, that's what I'm so excited for. Oh, no, yeah. I do have an idea for a VR launch.
Nate goes, rest in pieces. Yeah, dude, my controller was pretty banged up.
Well, I have a proposition here for PSVR 2 launch title. Yeah. How about the Metal Gear stuff that was cut from, I believe it was 4, it could have been 5. There's one of the Metal Gear games that there was supposed to be segments where you pilot the Metal Gear. I believe it was Rex. So that might put it back to Metal Gear 2, but
it would.
Just imagine that with VR controllers though, and I would be super into that.
Nice. Scott, are you into Street Fighter? Because Street Fighter 6 is a release date is still unknown as hot. Really? Hot reveal teases summer 2022 announcements.
That's something that I was not aware of, but I became aware of this morning. The whole
Ryu?
Hot Ryu aspect. Yeah,
I had no idea, dude. That was even a thing.
The last time I've seen any sort of gamer thirst was Dimitrescu from Resident Evil. There was a lot of weird comments about that, and so it's a little unsettling to see these comments about a video game character. I can't say I've shared these thoughts.
Nope, I would agree with that. This comes from Don Peppiette over VG247. Capcom has finally officially announced Street Fighter 6 after the developer hosted a week-long countdown timer hinting that something was coming. It's been 6 years since the launch of Street Fighter 5 on the PS4 and PC, and now finally we've got a decent look at the new direction the series is taking. Like it'll be the first Street Fighter title made in this RE engine. Oh, nice, dude. What do you think of that, Scott?
Oh, I think that has a real possibility to shine ahead.
Yep.
Being a new engine, because I think about Street Fighter and I go, holy, there's 6 of them? There's a lot.
Well, man,
but at the same time, Street Fighter seems, from my perspective, seems to be the older fighter game. And that might be incorrect, but I've only heard of Tekken, and I personally enjoy Soul Calibur. So that's...
Yeah, for sure.
That and Smash Brothers, and that covers all of the pro scene as far as I know.
I'm curious to see, like, all this is a cinematic, right? Like, what's the game look like? I'm a big Mortal Kombat fan, so for me, I already have my fighting game, and I haven't been a Street Fighter fan since, dude, I was like Super NES days, so, like way back in the day. That's when I was playing Street Fighter, and then from there I moved on into the world of Mortal Kombat. But it's always been something I've seen from the outside in now, looking in, and it kind of piques my interest to see, is this enough to pull me back in? Last Street Fighter was exclusive to PlayStation. Will Street Fighter 6 be exclusive, or do they want to open up, right? Do they want to broaden their horizon and make it over the world of Xbox and be a part of that family as well? Do they go to Game Pass as an option, Scott?
That would be, well, it'd be one big decision, but now I'm thinking,
Sure.
Well, we were talking about Capcan. We were talking about Capcom, rather,
Yeah.
and the possibility of them being bought up. That did not happen, but there's still a lot of time between this and the release of Street Fighter. So there could still be possibility of them being purchased, and that would lock it to one side or the other.
No, for sure. Yeah, we'll see if that happens. If not, man, I don't know. I don't know if Capcom will.
I would expect it to kind of go to both consoles, but
I would think so as well.
Then again, I'm not very familiar with Street Fighter, so I wasn't even sure that the last one was exclusive. That's news to me.
Yeah, it was exclusive to PlayStation, so I'm curious to see if they stick with that. Right? PlayStation just recently bought Evo, so they have the biggest fighting tournaments around now with the Evo organization. So did they keep it to themselves? Can they land that deal, or was Capcom looking to expand their reach? Kind of like how MLB's been now on both platforms, right? For the first time in last year, MLB went to Xbox.
Which is the next one?
Oh yeah, and that's
all around.
Yeah, so it's going to be everywhere, right? So is that something that Capcom is now looking at too, going, maybe we should be a bit everywhere as well, and making a bigger audience. But Scott, another announcement that was just revealed. Why don't you take this one? This was a weird one for me.
Yeah, this was another countdown. Atlus started a countdown, I believe, just 1 week ago. And they have finally announced at the end of that countdown that, I'm trying to see the entire name here, Devil Summoner Soul Hackers. This is Soul Hackers 2 has been announced now.
Yes. Really means nothing to me, I gotta be honest.
No, there's a little bit of a synopsis here, so I'm going to go through it because this is new to me.
Sure.
In Soul Hackers 2, the world faces an apocalypse. Well, that explains every game ever. An entity named Aeon tasks 2 AI agents to halt Earth's destruction. The pair must track down and resurrect slain devil summoners, humans capable of summoning and commanding demons using their soul hack ability. Okay, this is reminding me of Shin Megami Tensei, actually.
Sure.
And the devil summoners represent different factions, and their murders play a role into triggering Earth's downfall. It's up to Ringo and Fig to discover why that is and how to stop it. The first Devil Summoner game launched in Japan in 1996. Though it was never localized, its follow-up Soul Hackers launched in 97 and was translated for the Nintendo 3DS in 2013. So 2013 is not so long ago, but 1996,
that was a while ago.
It's almost as old as I am.
Yeah, so well, there you go, man. I'm not even go there.
It sounds like quite an RPG. It is very stylized. It's almost an anime style to it, and that's something that catches my eye nowadays. So I wasn't aware of Soul Hacker whatsoever, but
Sure.
I am now, and I'm curious.
Well, there we go. We'll keep our eyes on it and see what happens, Scott. Maybe you'll be reviewing that one in the near future. Let's see what Ubisoft is up to. Ubisoft says it would listen to offers of a buyout, but it has the resources to remain independent. No kidding. This is from Stephanie Nunelli over at VG247. Speaking during its Q3 2022 call to investors, the subject of consolidation in the industry was brought up. Speaking to the subject, Ubisoft CEO and co-founder Yves Guillemot assured that the company's assets have never been so strong at a time when the value of assets have never been so high. When asking during the investors' call if being in such a good position meant it was a good time to sell, Guillemot said the subject would be broached to the broad board of directors, but emphasized that the company has the means to remain independent. Quote, "We have always taken our decision in the interest of our stakeholders, which are our players, employees, and shareholders," end quote, Guillemot said. Quote, "So Ubisoft can remain independent. We have the talent, the industrial and financial scale, and a large portfolio of powerful IP. Having said that, if there were an offer to buy us, the board of directors would, of course, review it in the interest of our stakeholders," end quote. Scott, this is clearly brought on with the Microsoft Activision Blizzard of $68.7 billion. No surprise. If you get an offer like that, I think everybody would sell.
Oh yeah, no, and well, it makes sense that people are asking Ubi. I think it was asked about Capcom and even EA. People have been floating that idea around
in a lot of questions, right?
Not so serious manner, but it's a fair question. And now his response is kind of a generic one, if you ask me. Doesn't really lead to a yes or a no, just maybe.
Yeah, there's opportunity. If something was to arise, then yeah, maybe we'll take a look at it, right?
Can you imagine Assassin's Creed going only exclusive? Or Far Cry, for that matter? That was the latest biggest release.
Yeah, Far Cry 6 being released this year, which was a good one. And now Valhalla's even bigger. Man, like it's just... to me, then it's another company getting purchased, right? And another big company, because Ubisoft's not small. They have something like 27 studios.
Yeah, that was something I was looking at the other day, thinking, holy, how is there like 30 something studios?
It's crazy. But Scott, what we are looking at is the end of the show. So why don't you give us a rundown? What games are out today?
We have Destiny 2, The Witch Queen. That is on PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox One XS, and PC, Stadia as well. Always happy to see. We have Monarch on PlayStation 4 and 5, the Switch, and PC. And lastly, we have Soul Cresta on PlayStation 4, Switch, and PC.
That's not bad at all. Dude, that was a good show. Another one in the books just like that. Everybody, thank you for hanging out with us. This has been ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. We do have another live stream coming up on Thursday. I'm just not allowed to say what it is yet. So keep that in the back of your mind. I'm waiting on confirmation, but we do have a live stream coming this Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern. I'll let you guess what it could be. And we'll go from there. Scott's going to be playing it. I'm going to be sitting in. And we might even have a little special guest pop in. So until then, everybody, this is the hottest place around for all your video game news. ITG Daily. You can be joining us live over on twitch.tv/theofficialITG, as well as YouTube at Inside the Game Official. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later. InsideTheGame.ca, podcast services, and TV streaming networks around the globe. I'm Drew. That's Scott. We'll see everybody tomorrow inside the game.